I will be recording the meeting. I should have done that at the beginning, but we'll make sure that we have all this information available on our website as well. The meeting presentation here for Title I. Our Parent Advisory Council. The district has a parent and family engagement plan, and the summary of this plan is in the Title I School and Family Partnership Overview. You can access this at pcsb.org/Title I. Parent Advisory Council is responsible for reviewing and revising the district PFEP, so this is a district level council, and the PAC will meet virtually or in person with the district's Title I coordinator. The PAC meets twice a year, and if you're interested in representing our school on the Parent Advisory Council at the district level, contact Mrs. Dolan, who is our assistant principal for Title I. Accountability. School report cards are available at edudata.fldoe.org. They include our school grade and overview, our population and enrollment, assessments, growth and population, our assessments of English language learners, graduation rates, educator qualifications, long-term goals, accelerated course enrollment, per pupil expenditures, as well as national data and how we compare. And the EduData portal looks like that little circle on the right, and you can visit there, select our district of Pinellas, and then select our school. As far as our school classification that you would find on EduData, school grading was optional for schools based on the spring 2020 testing session. Based on those results, Dunedin Highland Middle School remains a C school coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, and I am celebrating our staff for that after all of the different modes and all of the changes and shifts that took place throughout the entire school year, as well as the end of the 2019 school year. I'm sorry, this is based on the 2021 testing session. That's a typo. But as we come out of last school year and the end of the previous school year, I'm proud of our school to be able to hold ground and not experience nearly as much learning loss as some other places in our nation. Our school improvement goals for growth have been designed based on those 2021 spring results. And our school improvement goals for 2021-2022 include increasing our proficiency in ELA, math, science, and civics, as well as accelerated coursework, and then also improving the learning gains for our students across the board, as well as with our lowest 25%. In order to achieve these goals, our top strategies that we'll be using for school improvement for this school year is having our teachers engaged in purposeful, standards-based planning and PLCs to meet the needs of all learners, creating opportunities for students to engage in reading grade level texts across the content areas, using AVID and other research-based strategies for analysis, using formative assessments and data to provide scaffolding and differentiated instruction based on the needs of our learners, infusing culturally relevant teaching strategies to increase equity and empower student voice in learning opportunities, to use data to develop and implement the use of problem-solving processes to identify areas of need and to execute action steps to address them, and to strengthen the MTSS process and create a safe and supportive learning environment through PBIS and restorative practices. One of the ways that we will be working with our students to bridge any gaps of learning is through our extended learning program, and that is up and running. We currently have morning sessions on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 8 until 9. We also have afternoon sessions, Monday through Thursday from 4:20 until 5:20. And then we have Saturday academies that are available on the second Saturday of every month from 9 until noon. The Saturday Academy is specifically for students looking to boost their skills in reading and in math. If you'd like your child to sign up for extended learning program, on our website we have a form that has all of the different options for extended learning program sessions, and so you can fill those out and send your students with that form to their first extended learning program session. Here in Florida, we are in the last year of covering Florida standards. Florida's academic content standards establish high expectations for all students. The Florida standards identify what your child needs to know and be able to do in all content areas, and you can read more about them on the DOE website at fldoe.org/academics/standards. Also, your child's teacher will be able to explain the standards for your child's grade level. Our school curriculum is also monitored by the Pinellas County Schools, and so the Florida Standards Framework is part of everything that we teach at our school. You can learn more about the curriculum that we use in Pinellas County Schools by visiting the middle school education site, and it is at that link that's there. I understand you can't click on the link because you're in the presentation, but I will be posting this PowerPoint as well as the video that I'm recording. And in the PowerPoint, you will be able to click on that link to access middle school education, and any of the links in this presentation will be available and live. Florida Standards Assessment will be taking place in the spring. You may have heard on the news that this will be the last year that we will be having Florida Standards Assessment in the spring. We will be replaced by a progress monitoring program, and we're going to be learning more about that and sharing that with parents as soon as we do know more. But the spring assessments this year will be FSA assessments in English language arts for grades 6 through 8. The writing will be in April and the reading will be in May. We will also have FSA assessments for students that are in middle school math courses for grades 6 through 8 in May. And there will also be an FSA assessment for 8th grade science students taking place in May. We also have an alternate Florida Standards Assessment, the FSAA, which takes place March through April. That is for students in our Access or MMI classes, and they will be assessed in math, science, ELA, and civics on the alternate Florida Standards Assessment. These are the students on the Access Points classes in our MMI program. In addition to the FSA, some students will be taking end-of-course exams. We have end-of-course assessments. If their math class is algebra or geometry, it's an end-of-course exam. The algebra end-of-course exam is a graduation requirement for high school graduation, and so many of our students are able to achieve that in 8th grade by taking the Algebra 1 EOC. There's also an end-of-course exam in civics. Also this year, all of our 8th graders will be taking the PSAT in the spring as well. To learn more about state assessments, the DOE website has an accountability and assessments web link, and that link again will be live once I post this PowerPoint after the meeting. I mentioned this is the last year of Florida Standards Assessment. Florida is moving to what they call the B.E.S.T standards, the benchmarks for excellent student thinking. Those are coming soon, and there is more information on the DOE website about the B.E.S.T standards and how they are going to be rolled out. Here you will see that there is a timeline. Last year, the 2020-2021 school year, was the beginning of professional development for language arts and math teachers. Here in the 2021-2022 school year, kindergarten through 2 language arts is receiving new standards and new instructional materials. And then next year, the 22-23 school year, we will have our teachers teaching the new B.E.S.T standards in English language arts and in math, as well as having new instructional materials and new statewide assessments. So that is all coming next year, Florida B.E.S.T standards. And so parents ask how they can get involved. You can share your love of learning. Obviously, as a parent at home, you can read to and read with your student. You can review the compact throughout the year. You can keep your portal information up to date and check portal to keep up with your students' performance, progress, and grades. You can volunteer. You can participate by giving your input to our SIP, as well as our engagement plan and our budget. Show interest in your child's school day. You can ask them questions. You can check their homework. You can praise them for their efforts, encourage good study habits, communicate with their teachers, and participate in virtual and in-person events when they are available. Speaking of volunteering, if you are a Pinellas County Schools volunteer, every year you do have to reactivate your volunteer information. So you can visit focus.pcsb.org/volunteer to reactivate your volunteer information. If you are a new volunteer to Pinellas County Schools, you can register also at pcsb.org/volunteer registration. Volunteers will not be able to access the campus during the first 9 weeks of school, but that was a last year slide and I did not take that out. So we are allowing volunteers on a as needed basis. Our biggest need right now is for volunteers who are able to mentor students. We have many students who are part of mentoring programs, especially the Take Stock in Children program, which was once called the Doorways program. Students are required to have mentors, and we need those mentors. So if you have time to give to students, that would be a great way to support our campus. Mrs. Lawrence is our family and engagement liaison. She can be reached there at her email and also at extension 2045. Again, all of these links will be presented when I post this PowerPoint on the website. You can also join us virtually or in person as the year evolves for our SAC and PTA meetings. Most of the meetings are on the second Wednesday of the month. SAC meets at 6 p.m. and PTA meets at 6:30. We started off with virtual meetings and they are open to all. We're hoping to be able to transition back at some point to having face-to-face meetings with parents on campus. But the next meeting is October 13th, and we'll have more information in my weekly calls about how to join those meetings. Additionally, Title I and Pinellas County Schools have resources that you can learn more about the Title I program and how you can be engaged in our family. Our Title I family coordinator for the district is Amy Brown. Her last name on her email is Dodge, so it's dodgeam@pcsb.org if you'd like to reach out to her about being involved in Title I at the district level. We also have learning at home resources available, and there's a link there. How to volunteer in Pinellas County Schools, there's a link. There's also a link for mentoring and tutoring, a link for parent advocacy, a link for Parent Academy Power Hours, and also partnerships. If you have a business that would like to be a part of a partnership, we would be definitely willing to listen to that. As far as being involved in your child's education here on campus, if you need to get a hold of someone, I want to let you know how to contact everyone in our offices. In the 6th grade office, our 6th grade assistant principal is Ms. Diana Dolan. So if you have administrative questions or questions about discipline, she's the one to contact. Our 6th grade clerk is Nicole Herbert, and she is there for students' individual needs. She's also usually the person that answers the phone in the 6th grade office, and so she will handle things like early release, phone calls if you need to reach your student during the day. If you have your child's supplies, you need to deliver their lunchbox, she will be the one to take that call and help you to meet your needs. Courtney Northcutt is the school counselor in the 6th grade office. She will handle academic questions as well as social emotional learning. And in the 6th grade office, Amy Shaw, our Title I MTSS coach, also works there with our 6th grade team. Your child's a 7th grader, 7th grade office. Ms. Bernal is our 7th grade assistant principal, and the roles are all the same, but the names and faces are a little different. Susan Carroll is the clerk who will handle those individual needs and will be the one to answer the call when you call the 7th grade office. We welcome Mr. Pena, who is a new school counselor to us, and he is in 7th grade. And then in the 7th grade office, we also have Beth Taylor, who is our gifted coordinator. She works at our school and Elisa Nelson and works specifically with our gifted program. And then in the 8th grade office, our 8th grade team consists of Mrs. Watson, our 8th grade assistant principal, Mrs. Yeasting, our 8th grade clerk, Lauren Poggiali, our school counselor, who is also joining us new this year, and Rachel Autry, who is our literacy coach, our Title I literacy coach, and she works out of the 8th grade office. As far as school communication, we have our school website, and we work really hard to keep that up to date. In my phone calls, if you're not able to read the email version, I usually reference that we have the documents that I'm talking about on the school website, and so you can check there for the latest information. We also have our school phone number, and we also have school official social media channels, and you might want to follow those as we do a lot of celebrations of our students and our staff on those social media channels. So that brings us to a conclusion of the Title I portion of the program. I did run a little bit ahead, and so that's good that I'm on time. I have not been able to monitor the chat, and I see that when I hit record, the chat took over making a transcript of everything that I'm saying, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.